This is R. Lewis King, and welcome to Soul Sessions Devotional Podcast. Each day, you and we face struggles and battles in this life that we fight internally within ourselves, wrestling sometimes with our past, our present, as we strive to make an impact in our future. Did you know on today that God created you with great purpose and worth? Each day, our soul is always talking to us and reminding us God wants you to walk in the fullness of your potential and your purpose. You do not have to struggle with being in the image of anyone else, but you can walk in the image of God. It's time to let your soul cry out. Welcome to Soul Sessions Devotional. Hey everyone, welcome on today to Soul Sessions Devotional Podcast. This is R. Lewis King, and I want to just have a time of just real, direct, just straight up transparent talk in this devotional. I want to talk today about the subject of acknowledge the truth to yourself. Acknowledge the truth to yourself. Being able to acknowledge something to yourself, it just simply comes down to, can you own not only the right things that you have done, but can you own the wrong things that you have done? Can you own the errors, the mistakes, the wrong choices that you and that we have made at different times in our life experiences? And when I thought about this particular devotion, I thought about the psalmist David and his experience in Psalms 51 and how he expressed directly to God, the creator, the source, that, God, I need your mercy because I know that you're a loving God, but at the same time, I have messed up. I have done wrong. There are things that I have done wrong. There are things that I have thought wrong, choices that I have made, different decisions. And we live in a world where it is so difficult for some people. I will not say everyone because that would be a generalization. But there are many people who find it very difficult and very hard to simply acknowledge that I am wrong sometimes. I am not always right. I am not always in the right. And that it is okay to be honest, even sometimes brutally honest, to say, I messed up. I messed up. Many times when we think about, being transparent, many people want transparency from other people, but many people do not give transparency in reference to themselves. Many people will demand transparency from another person and accountability, but they will not put the same demands and the same protocols upon themselves when it comes down to, I have to acknowledge that I said something wrong. I thought something wrong. Emotionally, I was feeling something wrong. My perception of something was wrong. I did you wrong. I own it. I hurt you. I caused you pain, or I put you in harm's way. There are many people who have a struggle just simply doing that basic thing because they do not want to be wrong. Now, they do not have a problem with finding you in the wrong, but being able to be the owner, to have ownership of their own doings. Many times it is condensed down to, how many times have we said, or some of us have said, well, I made a mistake. But when you look at a mistake and when you look at an error, that's still kind of like a justified, watered down version. And that's just my opinion. That's not a generalized statement, speaking for everyone. But when you look at a mistake is something that you do inadvertently. In other words, It's something that you may have done unintentionally, not on purpose. Sometimes you may not have even realized it, that caused another person pain. When we err, which is what many times many of us we do or have done, this is something we already know that is wrong before we even do it. We already have knowledge and understanding that I should not be doing this. But we go ahead and do it anyway. And instead of just saying, I erred, I messed up, I was wrong, we rather take the lighter version and say, well, I made a mistake. No, you did not make a mistake. I did not make a mistake at different times in my life with choices that have been made. Just real talk. It is time that we acknowledge the truth to ourselves. Many of us, because we do not acknowledge the truth to ourselves, it makes it very difficult for us to build a relationship, a real, true, honest relationship with ourselves, because it seems easier to be in denial. It seems easier to simply lie to yourself, to keep telling yourself something that isn't real. And if a person believes something is real to them, if they believe that it is true to them, then it becomes their reality. Although other people can see through it that this is wrong. But many times, if we are not careful, we can convince ourselves by not acknowledging, claiming, owning that we're messed up, we are out of order. There are things very much dysfunctional in our life. Many times we can convince ourselves that, hey, everything is fine. So when we do that, then we end up carrying all of this excess baggage in our life from relationship to relationship to relationship. And we keep seeing sometimes the same manifestations and the same results of, and asking ourselves questions. Why do it seem like I always connect with this type of person, or, these type of individuals? Why do it seem like my relationships do not work? Or how come it just seems like I always connect to toxic individuals? Many times do we ask our own self the question, am I a toxic individual? I just wonder how many of us have even dared to even ask God, Heavenly Father, when you look at me through your eyes, will you show me the real, true image of myself through your eyes, whether I am toxic, broken, shattered, dysfunctional? Many times we do not want to ask those relevant, honest questions to ourselves because we are more concerned about how we look in the eyes of another person versus being concerned with how we look first and foremost in the eyes of God and in the eyes of the person who we are with the most, ourselves. We're just having real talk today. Acknowledging the truth to yourself, just real transparency. Many of us, we have tried to move forward in our life. We can be intellectually intelligent. We can be smart. We can have book knowledge. We can have degrees, and we may have PhD. We may have a great job where you make a lot of money. You may live in a very nice, affluent community. All of these things. Many of us, we can have monetary things. We can have tangible, physical things, material things. But yet, the most important thing that we need is being able to have control of our life. It's something, when we have things, but we do not have order within ourselves because we do not want to acknowledge the truth of where we are. Many of us right now, this day, at this time, it is 9 a.m. on February the 15th, 2022. Many of us, because we will not acknowledge that we are in trouble, we are broken, that maybe we need to see a therapist, we need to see a psychologist, we need some counseling, we need some help, we need God. Many of us, we cannot build a good, healthy relationship with family. We cannot build a good, healthy relationship with friends. We cannot build a good, healthy relationship in personal relationships with another person, because we are so jacked up and so messed up that we just continue to carry all of our stuff with us. And then that stuff becomes toxic and radioactive. And if it is already killing us, and the signs and the manifestations are there, then you know that it is affecting the other people who are connected to you and in your life. It's bad, when a person has an addiction, but they cannot acknowledge their addiction. Many of us, we have an addiction to not being able to tell ourselves the truth. And because we can't tell ourselves the truth, it makes many of us, we are not ready for the next level of how God wants to bless you in your life. We are not ready mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, and in so many other ways for greater things in our life, because we cannot even address right now where we are. We can't. It's like knowing that you have a terminal illness and you continue to do everything that your doctor tells you not to do. And you tell the doctor you don't know what you're talking about, even though they tell you if you have another drink and continue to do this, it's going to kill you. There are certain things about us when we do not tell ourselves the truth, we're setting ourselves up for a total failure, destruction, and death in our life, because we will not embrace the right thing to do over the convenient wrong thing to do, which is living in denial. So in this real talk on today, I want you to just think about some things on this week. Just think about, where do I go from here? I'm tired of struggling with my mindset. I'm tired of struggling with emotional instability. I'm tired of being in and out of relationships that just seem not to work. And it's a reason that relationships do not work. A lot of it is based on knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. If we do not get the knowledge or the information about what's going on in our life, in our mindset, and our psyche, you can't move forward. If we do not get the understanding of this is where I am at, and if we do not use the wisdom, which is simply that applied truth, that I need to do something about this, I need to work on my state of mind, the different areas of my life. And if I don't, I cannot move forward. Until we do those things, no relationship that we are attached to or connected to is going to be healthy, nor will it work and have longevity. So everything, it starts with you and I, the individual. If we're not willing to do the work, to work on ourselves, to acknowledge, just as the psalmist David did, that Lord, I've messed up. I need to be cleaned up. I need my mind cleaned up. I need a new mindset. I need my perception changed. I need to listen to you, the source, the voice over anything else. And I need to start getting myself lined up and in a right place of order. Because if I do not, then I'm just going to continue to struggle day in and day out until I just lose all hope, possibly. Until next time, this is R. Lewis King for Soul Sessions, devotional podcast, just having real talk. Have a blessed day, have a blessed week, and I will talk to you again.